On the show, I have Paddy Wells, all the way from Leeds in the north of England. Hi, Paddy.
Hi,
How we doing?
I'm good actually. Actually, I'm not in Leeds anymore. I'm in Hebden Bridge these days.
Oh, Hebden Bridge. Well, it's not too far away, I guess.
No, it's not.
Still in Yorkshire.
Yeah, just about.
Paddy's got a new CD out. It's an EP, I believe, from his new duo, Dust Radio, which is available on Bandcamp and um, via CD as well, I believe.
No physical copies yet, but there will be for when we get
Yeah.
a bit further down the line. Yeah.
The track that we've just heard is a track called Shotgun Shack. Now, I don't think we've got many shotgun shacks in Doncaster. Could you explain? Could you explain what a shotgun shack is for our listeners, please?
Yeah. Basically, that's like the kind of small shack that you typically find, in Mississippi or Louisiana, and the name comes about because it kind of goes straight through. So if you were to fire a shotgun in the front door, it would come out the back. Everything's just in a line, uh, and there's lots of those around, obviously, in the states.
Yeah, fantastic. I
Yeah,
think I have now coming to think of it. I think I have seen what you're talking about,
yeah,
like kind of long, thin houses.
yeah,
Yeah, right. Right.
yeah,
That's where the name from.
yeah.
Fantastic. I hear you've done a lot of traveling around in America. Is that an influence on this on that track in particular?
Yeah, it's probably seeped in there. I'm sure. I was lucky enough to spend a year in New Orleans recently, um, where we lived in a shotgun shack, uh,
Yeah,
and I got to play with a lot of cool people out there and things like that. And so yeah, it's probably found its way in from that kind of thing, I think.
fantastic. What took you to America then?
Um, well, I've been out there before to on shorter visits, and I always loved New Orleans. It's like my favorite place in the states. And my partner got the opportunity to go out there for a year. Also, this was late 2018, so we both went out there for the year and um, just basically lived out there for a while.
That
Yeah,
sounds good. A
yeah.
travel man. How are you getting on with lockdown then? Being forced to be like cooped up. You can't get out and gig.
No, I
Uh,
mean, like I think, like all musicians, I'm finding it frustrating, and I'm just waiting to see what happens next. But in the meantime, it's quite good to be able to at least do something musically and keep moving forward with something. Even if the live gigs are off the table for the time being.
yeah.
So that's what we're trying to do at the moment. Yeah.
CD, is the CD something you've been doing in lockdown, or is it before March? I think it's all started.
Yeah, well, it sort of became a recording project through circumstance, really. It wasn't supposed to be that. I only met Tom back in January, when
Jackson.
when the world, yeah, Tom Jackson, guitar player, um, and obviously the world was a bit of a different place then, and it was conceived as a duo that we would just get out gigging with pretty quickly. Put a set together, start gigging. Within a few weeks, we thought we'll be able to do that, and we were just sort of getting out to gig, and then March came around, and all bets were off, weren't they? So
Yeah,
it kind of became a recording thing then because we wanted to keep doing something musically, for our own sake as much as anything else. Um, so instead of the live gigging thing, we started kicking around original material, and that's what has become the tracks that have become the EP.
yeah, great. So was this recorded in a studio or in like a home studio?
Yeah, just across a couple of rehearsal spaces. At the time I was living in Stockport. Tom's also in Manchester, so we started recording it in a space in Stockport, And then since I've moved a little bit further out to Hebden, we split between recording it there or another space that's here in Hebden Bridge. And it's just like self-recorded and mixed, and then somebody did the mastering for us to kind of, to top it up. But yeah, we just recorded it ourselves basically because there's only two of us, so it's not. Yeah, thanks.
Very authentic sounding. I thought my first impressions of the songs was that it wouldn't be out of place in what I imagine. These roadhouses and things like that. It's got a very authentic sound. That's kind of how I describe it.
Yeah.
Hear the passion in sort of the playing and the tones. Like the guitar tones just sounded really like Tom really knows his guitar players, and it had very, very much like a Bo Diddley kind of feel to the guitar playing. And
right.
I love the sort of the stomp box sort of sound, with the kick drum. Is one of you playing the kick drum live, that kind of thing?
No, not on those tracks. I mean, that's obviously some of that is just done. Tom's got the technical know-how with like software and stuff. That's not my department, so he kind of looks after any added production like percussion and stuff. Has come from software basically.
Oh, right.
But the
I was convinced. To me, it sounded live. It sounded like one of you guys was kicking a kick drum.
Yeah, I mean, we did sort of toy with that, with having somebody doing that at the same time, and in the end, it was just, well, we'll just use this for now, and it kind of turned out all right. So, but we're trying not to add too much so that we couldn't just play it live, the two of us, which we know we can still do. That's why we're trying to not make it too produced or with too much on there. It's supposed to, still sound like a duo. So
yeah. Influences then. Who's a big influence on your playing?
for me, do you mean as a harmonica player?
Yeah.
Well, from the older guys, it would be the usual suspects, I suppose. Little Walter and Sonny Boy Williamson, James Cotton, all those guys, through to Kim Wilson and Paul Butterfield, through to more modern guys. There's a player called Mitch Cashmire, who I love. William Clark. Yeah, lots of guys.
The boatload of people.
Yeah.
I'm assuming you've been playing for a long time.
Yeah, more than 30 years now, 30 something years. Yeah, so quite a while.
Yeah. Well, you wouldn't believe it. You're looking good on it.
Thanks, man.
It's not aging you. You must be stress free.
Oh, I don't know about that.
You've had a good tape around. Fantastic stuff. Another thing you sort of that you do, I've seen from your website, is writing articles and CD album reviews, kind of thing. And you're currently doing a biography, is that right?
That's right. Yeah, it's an authorized biography of a harmonica player called Jason Ritchie, who, if any harp players are watching or listening to this, will be well aware of who he is. So yeah, it's due hopefully for completion sometime next year. So that's like an ongoing project between myself and Jason.
Is that is Jason someone you met while you were out in America?
Yeah, well, yes, basically. I mean, I've been aware of Jason for a long time, since watching like his YouTube videos and things going back, years. But then we actually met because he now lives in New Orleans. So he's become like a friend basically, and we were able to start this project kind of face to face. Me just going around and interviewing him, and then when I came back to the UK, we just carried on via Skype basically, to get it finished off. all
Yeah,
of the
great.
all of the raw material which we've got now. So now it's just a case of making it into something. But
No, that's
he's had like 3 lifetimes already. It won't be a dull read, I can guarantee that.
I've heard he's played with the people like Johnny Winter, Walter Trout,
Yeah,
Cedric Burnside, that
yeah,
kind of, and many others.
yes.
Well travelled, yeah. He's played with a lot of people.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. He's got an incredible story.
Well, it'd be a good read, I'm sure.
Yeah,
How do
definitely.
you get the writing side of things? You know, it's a different angle on obviously professional musician, that kind of thing. What drew you to that side of the music business?
What, the writing?
Yeah,
Well, I've done freelance stuff for quite a while now. Um, I was always interested in that sort of stuff because I used to devour the music press like myself.
yeah.
Um, so I was pretty steeped in those magazines, and eventually I just got just through tenacity. Really, I just managed to start writing for a few of them. Um, but I mean that again, COVID is that's kind of nosedived that industry, and several of the magazines that I was writing for have closed in the last few months. So
Well,
that's substantially quieting down for me.
yeah. That's the thing. I think a lot of musicians have got like side things as well as performing and writing, that kind of thing. Personally, I do posters. I
Okay.
do posters, and obviously because of COVID and the lack of gigs, things like that, that's completely gone. As a bit of a um, side hustle or whatever you call it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's completely understandable. I think everybody's in the same boat with this kind of thing.
Exactly.
Hit a lot of people very hard.
Yeah.
Uh, and I know just today I was reading about a venue that had, has got into sort of thousands of pounds worth of debt, and they've had to shut. They can't afford to keep going.
Yeah.
Um, very sad, and I know some of the places that we were booked to play this year, they're not there anymore. They don't exist
Yeah.
to play next year. So I don't know. It's a bit of a sad time. Um,
Definitely. Yeah.
uh, but the music still goes on. We can
Oh
still all
yeah.
be writing and creating music,
Absolutely.
and we've got ever more reason to play the blues. I think these days.
Yeah. We're in the right game.
I, um, well, thanks for speaking to us, Paddy.
Thank you for asking me.
I'm going to play um, next track off your EP, Dead Man's Crawl.
Mhm.